Good morning, students. Today we are going to see about DevOps. A short history of DevOps. In 2008, the software developer Patrick DeBois, developer network specialist, system administrator, tester, and project manager. DeBois helps plant the seeds of DevOps movement at the Agile conference in Toronto. It resolves a conflict between the software developers and operations teams when it comes to getting great work done quickly. In 2009, at O'Reilly Velocity Conference, two Flickr employees, John Alspar, Senior Vice President of Technical Operations, and Paul Hammond, Director of Engineering, delivers a seminal talk known as 10 plus deploys per day. So, Dev and Ops, that is cooperations at Flickr. The perfect storm of 2009. Here, a perfect storm of converging the adjacent methodology, including agile operations management, the lean and IT service management, came together in 2009 through a smattering of conferences, talks, and Twitter debates worldwide that eventually became the philosophy behind DevOps. But it didn't include the operations side, so while development could be continuous, deployment was still waterfall oriented. So DeBois launches the first DevOps Day event in Ghent, Belgium. Early supporters include like John Williams as an enterprise system management expert and Chris Batata, a Linux and open source consultant. 2010, the first US DevOps Days is organized with the help of Willis. The event soon became a regular global series of community organized conferences and a major force driving the DevOps community forward. In 2011, the DevOps community starts to build open source tools like Vagrant that work with existing configuration management tools like Puppet and Chef. DevOps definition. DevOps is a philosophy of unifying development and operations at the culture, practice, and tool levels to achieve accelerated and more frequent deployment of changes to production. Culture, which means a behavior, teamwork, responsibility, accountability, trust. Practice, which is a policy, roles, processes, procedures, metrics, or reporting. Tools, shared skills, tool making for each other, common technology platform. There are some modern applications in the cloud like Google, Amazon, Twitter, Etsy, which is to deploy multiple times a day. It helps ensure frequent deploys with a low failure rate. Companies of all sizes are beginning to implement DevOps practices. DevOps adoption increased from 66% in 2015 to 74% in 2016. So here 5 things DevOps is not like simply combining development and operation teams. DevOps is not a separate team. DevOps is not a tool. DevOps is not one size fits all strategy. DevOps is not just automation. So it's like software engineer development, like we can say IT guy, that is infrastructure operations, you can say the quality assurance testing, which includes 3 of this domain. And DevOps and software development life cycle. So it checks the code, it pulls the code changes for building, to run the test individual models, run integration test, and run the user acceptance test too. It stores artifacts and build repository. It deploys and release automation product to deploy applications. The configuration environment update databases to update the applications, and we push the users who receive test application date updates frequently and without interruption. It includes application and network performance monitoring. It runs and repeats. So here we have the DevOps life cycle. So we have to push the code, it fetches some changes, it runs unit test, it builds artifacts, it stores artifacts, it has a provision environment, we deploy, we build, we run the load and functional test cases, DevOps quality assurance, staging, and production. So these everything into one. So push, load, trust, deploy, and we have upload, unit test, and build. So these are the 6 things for the DevOps life cycle. So here a rapid release cycle with a strong feedback loop we have, like infrastructure management to feedback loop, configuration management, deployment automation, infrastructure monitoring, log management, application and performance monitoring. So we get the things. So we have to develop and test and release and monitor. Okay. So it has main objectives. So these are the main objectives. We have infrastructure as a code, that is a tools like Puppet and Chef. The concept of infrastructure as code was born. And DevOps on the cloud. So the answer to all three questions, which is like, what is the relationship between cloud computing and DevOps? Is DevOps really just IT for the cloud? Can we only do DevOps in the cloud? Can we only do cloud using DevOps? So the answer to all these questions is no. Cloud and DevOps are independent, but manually it is reinforcing strategies for delivering business value through IT. So there are some prerequisites for DevOps. So we have the either the developers who get interested in deployment and network operations, or system admins who have passion for scripting and coding and move into the development side where they can improve the planning of test and deployment. So either way, these are the people who have pushed beyond their defined areas of competence and who have a more holistic view of technical environments. So these are the tools in DevOps: Ansible, scripting, Jenkins, Chef, Git, Nexus, Docker, Nagios, Vagrant, etc. So we have the continuous deployment practice. So we have to build, commit, test, and deploy. So these are the things. Thank you.